Here locally, heavy weather conditions have caused challenges for street vendors. Some are struggling to make ends meet. Valley View News' Reina Torres has the story.
Street vendors in the cities of Hawthorne and Englewood face challenges during winter weather conditions. The rain doesn't attract many customers. Vendors are left without profit. And if that wasn't bad enough, the cold and the rain often ruin their merchandise. Adriana Sanchez sells flowers in Englewood, and this year's heavy rain has affected her business. She says being in the cold makes her body shiver and can get sick quickly. Ernesto Garcia sells fruit in Hawthorne. He says the rain and cold often make him sick and make it nearly impossible to make ends meet. He says he tries his best to save his money to cover his living expenses.
Street vendors like Ernesto, on a good day, he makes about $120. He sells his fruit plates for $10.
Street vendor Alfredo Gomez helps out in his mother's taco business. He says the rain can ruin their merchandise.
We do come out with this weather, it affects every single thing in the stand.
Financial advisor Carlos Guaman says a street vendor or business owner needs two simple things:
a budget. And the second thing, they need to have a backup plan for 6 months of all the expenses. That's in case something happens.
Reporting from Englewood for Valley View News, I'm Reina Torres.
Thank you, Reina. Americans' Social Security checks could get a lot smaller in 2034 if lawmakers don't act to address a pending shortfall. That's because the combined Social Security trust funds, which help support payouts that are expected to run dry this year. That fund's reserves will be depleted, and the program's continuing income will only cover 80% of benefits owed. The deficiency would come 1 year earlier than the trustees projected last year. About 66 million Americans received Social Security benefits in 2022.
President Biden approved a disaster declaration for Arkansas after tornadoes affected the South and Midwest. The state was hit by a massive tornado last week, killing at least 5 people and injuring several others. The declaration provides federal funding to help with recovery efforts in the state's Cross, Lone Oak, and Pulaski counties. Other counties will also be included once further damage assessments are complete.
The federal government has filed a lawsuit against Norfolk Southern over environmental damage caused by the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. The U.S. Department of Justice is seeking to hold the company accountable for polluting the nation's waterway. Government officials say tests have not found dangerous levels of chemicals in the air or the water. Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw has repeatedly apologized for the derailment, and the company has pledged to pay for the cleanup.
NATO has officially banned staff members from using TikTok on their devices. It is due to concerns over the Chinese government potentially accessing user data through its parent company ByteDance. Earlier this month, TikTok CEO Shou Chew informed lawmakers the Chinese government had no access to user data. Instead, he says TikTok stores its data in the U.S. with American company Oracle. Western governments are still skeptical.
When we come back, the jury has reached a verdict in Gwyneth Paltrow's trial. Also, WrestleMania slams Hollywood. Stay with us. Welcome back. Elon Musk could be playing a dangerous game on Twitter. Celebrities, news publications, government agencies, and journalists all lost their blue check marks last week. The official accounts for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and some state customs and border patrol offices have also lost their blue check verification. Musk says now users will need to pay $8 per month to join the Twitter Blue subscription service if they want a blue check mark. The change is causing confusion and concern due to high risks of impersonation on the platform. Some users tweeted saying they plan to leave the site.
The highly anticipated music festival Coachella will now have to pay a hefty fine to the city of Indio. The music festival will have to shell out $130,017 for breaking curfew rules. Each night, concerts were supposed to end by midnight, but performers regularly passed that limit by nearly half an hour. The agreement states passing curfew by 5 minutes results in a fine of $20,000. After that, organizers are fined $1,000 per minute. The money will be used to fund general city projects for Indio. Honestly, I think that's worth it. I think it's helping the city.
Yeah, I saw some performers going over curfew very happily. So I think it's cool that people got excited for their performances. But speaking of getting excited for performances, Frank Ocean fans were not able to see the artist perform at Coachella this weekend after he pulled out a few days prior due to an injury. A spokesperson for the artist said he suffered 2 fractures to his leg. The artist had been in hot water recently after arriving on stage an hour late for his Weekend 1 performance and miming along to some songs without singing at all. Then he cut the performance short to meet curfew. Blink-182 took over Ocean's Sunday slot. Ocean's spokesperson said the injury happened before the artist's first performance, but the singer still took stage that night.
Great news for Twilight lovers. The infamous vampire book series by author Stephanie Myers is on its way to the small screen. Sinead Daly is going to write and produce a TV series based on the novels for Lionsgate TV. It's still unclear if the aim is to stay true to the original books or take on a different angle. It comes after Warner Brothers Discovery announced Harry Potter will be turned into a TV series. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I'm really hoping that this is really corny. I hope they don't try to make it sentimental or meaningful in any way. And I'm really excited for you to get some representation because I know you used to have vampire teeth before braces.
I did, yeah.
Fans of a different movie, Saturday Night Fever, this one's for you. John Travolta's iconic white suit just got sold at auction. The suit fetched a whopping $260,000 during an auction over the weekend. It was expected to sell for somewhere between $160,000 and $230,000. The suit was created by Italian designer Giorgio Armani and worn by Travolta in the 1977 film. It was previously sold at auction in 1995 for a little more than $145,000. The 2-day auction where the suit was sold featured more than 1,000 Hollywood artifacts. Isabella, would you spend $260,000 on John Travolta's jumpsuit?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge John Travolta fan, and honestly, I'd spend that money on probably one of his costumes from Greece. Well, Northridge middle schoolers were able to learn from local healthcare professionals. Valley View News' Lupita Baltazar shows us why a new program aims to push young students into the healthcare industry.
It's a mini medical school for middle schoolers.
3D.
Students were able to be hands-on and learn from healthcare professionals at Northridge Hospital.
We started the program in about 2014-2015. We were trying to inspire kids to do family medicine. If for those that are trying to, even if it's nursing or going into actual medical school to be doctors, to inspire them to join family medicine.
Gallbladder is closed. Gallbladder is here. This little green thing.
This is Dr. Eric Gama, who was very excited to have students experience what professionals do. It's important, he says, to make them aware of the need of healthcare professionals across the country. The United States needs more than 3.2 million healthcare workers to meet the demand.
Encourage them to kind of like in the future pursue these careers and see a little bit of what we do. And hopefully they become the next nurses, next doctors, next medical assistants in the near future.
This group of students had a unique experience on things like reading x-rays, bandaging experience, and identifying the human organs in the body.
We're just here to show them what we have, just a glimpse into what our life looks like in hopes that it inspires them. And if it's something that they want to pursue, that we're here for them, we're to provide them with that support and experience.
Students had the opportunity to learn from professionals and be hands-on and be able to take blood pressure and learn something new. Reporting from Northridge, I am Lupita Baltazar for Valley View News.
Lupita, thank you. An anti-trans athlete bill passed the House last week, furthering Republican efforts to ban trans athletes in schools. The Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act would ban transgender athletes from women's and girls' sports at federal schools and institutions. Republicans want sex to be determined solely based on a person's reproductive biology. They argue transgender women hold a physical advantage over cisgender women. The bill is not expected to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate.
Well, quacktastic news, a mother duck and ducklings were seen touring an elementary school in Ohio. According to Springboro School District, they have actually lived in the school for 5 years. The feathered family created a home in the outdoor sensory garden. The school staff relocated the duck and her ducklings to a bigger space. The district has notified families of preschool lottery applications, but it's yet to be confirmed if the ducklings' applications were accepted. Well, that's all for us at Valley View News. I'm Isabella Warren.
And I'm Zena Taher. For stories at any time of day, go to our website, csunvalleyview.com. Thanks for watching.